Today I received my new Merlin Annual Pass, but I'm not sure it's still worth it. So let's figure it out. The Merlin Annual Pass is a season ticket granting you access to all the Merlin attractions, including theme parks such as Alton Towers, the fish shops, and midway attractions like the dungeons. But who'd pay full price for them? This idiot, who had a perfectly good pass sitting pretty at home. Anywho, with increased prices, countless removed attractions, and more closing, I should add, I'm re-evaluating whether this thing is still good value for money. By starting off with the good stuff, what's included? So you get access to the midway attractions like the dungeons, the sea life, the waxwork, museums, and Shrek's Adventure. They make that joke in there, so Shrek'Cellent. But most importantly, this allows you to visit all of the theme parks as many times as you want, depending on what version you get. And those theme parks include Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, Chessington, Legoland, and that's about it actually. But that does make up pretty much the majority of the top theme parks in the UK. So on paper, UK theme park fans would be a bit lost without a map. Sorry. Sincerest apologies for the pun. Though with attractions dropping at quite an alarming rate, it's starting to look less needed. But I'll address removed and at-risk attractions later in the video. That'll be good for a bit of retention. Now for the part we all hate, the paying for it. And there are different levels of access according to the following pricing. The Gold Pass gets you into the parks for most of the year, but there are exclusion dates such as like Halloween, Alton Towers fireworks, a lot of the bank holidays. But other than that, it's all gravy. And the Gold Pass used to be £219, but recently increased to £239. Not too bad, if you ask me. But moving on to the Discovery Pass. It's not even a Discovery Pass. Let's discover what this is all about. Doesn't work anymore. But this is now £99. It's only gone up from £89, and it it allows you to enter the parks on weekdays. So great if you don't work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, or have a child and you still have school. Great if you have weekdays off. You also have the Silver Pass, which increased from £159 to £169. Lol, funny number. Grow up. Same as Gold Pass, just more exclusion dates. And then the Platinum Pass. Damn. Which remains at £299. And there are also monthly payment plans for the Silver, Gold and Platinum Pass, which I put on screen now. But in all honesty, those prices aren't too offensive. I wouldn't even say they're overpriced. At face value, that is. Because when you see the constant decline in quality at the parks, you'll certainly feel a bit sad. Yeah, a couple of gourmet priced prison meals and you're suddenly not having Gary Barlow's idea of a nice day out. And if that's not punishment enough, you could kindly hit that subscribe button and suffer more of my pointless personal opinions. Just kidding, I do try my best and would really appreciate your help as we're optimistically aiming to hit 6,000 subs by the end of the year. And whilst you're down there, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button. Let's say 200 likes and I'll post a video me and Marcus recently filmed. It's a bit weird. Now for the mathematical stuff. Return on investment versus the price of a day ticket. This might challenge my one brain cell. So looking online, the price of an Alton Towers day ticket on the gate is £68. However, you get a pretty cushy discount when you book in advance, where you could get it as low as £29 for a day ticket, which for the mathematicians out there is better than half price. So let's go off of £29 because that's as cheap as you can get in. See how many of those equate to a pass. It's also worth mentioning that Alton Towers is one of the more expensive parks to enter, though it is the flagship, so that's my guinea pig. And thankfully, it's actually quite simple maths, because the pass costs £299, whereas a day ticket can be as cheap as £29. If you enter 10 times, then you're pretty much broken even. And then the £9, I know that is the elephant in the room, would be saved via some of the perks, such as free parking. How much is parking without a pass? What? All day parking is £12. So if you drive to Alton Towers once, you've made a profit. Kind of. And that is just the first example for some of the perks you get with the old Jose Merlin Pass. Because along with free parking, you also get 20% off the lovely food and drinks. You also get around 20% off merch and all the good stuff inside of this. Well, I planned on unboxing this in this video anyway, so it saves me a job. You get lanyards, which you can put your badges and pins on for extra swag. You also get a box. Ooh, interesting. And inside said box you get a thingy bob for your pass to go on your lanyard. You get a pop badge which goes like this, I think. Here we go. Just pops on. And then you get refill cup tokens, which allow you to get one refill cup. Oh, this might ruin my audio. Like this. It's currently a microphone stand. And then 3 additional days of refills in it. But you got to remember to bring your cup with you and your token to get the benefit. One thing I will mention, that another cut has been discovered. In previous years, you would get 4 discounted fast pass tickets. So you get £5 off fast passes. And these share the fun things where I believe you can take 3 or 4 friends for a reduced price of around £20. So that's gone. I still think you can bring a friend for half price though with your annual pass. So whilst the value has been decreased, it's not all doom and gloom. And there are more things missing from the old Mappy Wappy Doodah, as you don't get any additional theme park perks like with other annual pass options. For example, Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Not only do you get access to the park for the whole year, but they do give you 1 free day access to a number of Europe's top theme parks, such as Europa Park and some others. Furthermore, whilst there are some new attractions still in the pipeline for Merlin, it does seem like rides are closing or projects are being cancelled at a faster rate than they're being added. I'm sure Project Horizon probably had some dodgy tweets back in 2012. That thing's definitely getting cancelled. So the new Altonio Towers coaster is in the bin, but with their current finances, I can kind of understand why they're being a bit tight-fisted. If my bank account said that, I wouldn't buy a roller coaster either. Now, whilst I think we can all agree that cancelling future ride projects is bad news, I think this next thing is probably worse. Removed attractions.
Hello there.
So let's look at the attractions good old Jose Merlin has taken from us already and see if it really diminishes the value. It is as follows. We've lost the Bear Grylls Adventure, everything in Blackpool as of August 1st. Peter Rabbit, he's only just shown up and they've said sling your rook, and countless other midway attractions. A lot of sea life. Now, I don't personally think these closures affect the value of the pass, but I live miles away from Blackpool and a lot of the other midway attractions, so I'd only visit them if I'm in the area. However, I do understand that if you live nearer to these attractions than you might do to Thorpe Park, Alton Towers or Chessington or Legoland, this might be a bit more of an indicating factor for you. So as to conclude this vlog, I would say that the main determining factor of whether or not you should buy a Merlin Annual Pass comes down to how many times you think you're going to visit the parks versus the price of the pass you're looking at. So for me, having a Platinum Pass does make sense, as I know I'm going to visit the parks more than 10 times a year, including blockout days like Halloween and fireworks. On top of that, there are other factors such as the free parking, the refill cup perks, and the discounts you get in the parks that you can also take into consideration when purchasing. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you found it useful, Ciao, legends.
That was good, wasn't it? Please, sir, can we have some more? You don't have to call me sir. But here's your link. Click it. Sir Pun a lot would sound cool though.